make you stink and transmits that information to a device that ranks your BO on a scale of 1 to 5. 1, you might get away with it. 3, don't get too close. And 5, head for the showers. They hope to miniaturize the technology to the point where it can be incorporated into a smart shirt or blouse. Jim Shenevy, CBS News.
What do you call someone who doesn't quite meet the definition of a Gen Xer or a millennial? It's not in the dictionary yet, but Merriam-Webster says it's keeping a close eye on the term zennial. You can use it for someone who's born between 1977 and 83, or as Merriam-Webster puts it, someone who's a little too young to remember Voltron, but too old for Power Rangers. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Nuga Radio.
I went whitewater rafting a few years back, and man, it was fun. This is Bruce Dodd with People's Home Equity, a mortgage company right here in Chattanooga. The water was up that day, and the rapids were pretty challenging. Our guide had traveled the river hundreds of times before and knew exactly where to go and how to approach each rapid. I learned that it's important to know when to paddle, when to coast, and that communication is vital. The mortgage world has become a lot like a whitewater trip. We do mortgages all day, every day. Your mortgage is our priority. If you're looking to move this year, then get the pre-qualification process started with professionals who can help you navigate the mortgage industry. We know when to paddle and when to coast. If you're ready to move, call us at People's Home Equity, 423-591-9801.
People's Home Equity is still closing loans in less than 30 days. Call them now to get pre-qualified. 423-591-9801. 423-591-9801. Call for more details. Terms and conditions may apply. This is not a commitment to lend. NMLS number 66247. Tennessee number 117278136. Georgia number 16020. Georgia residential mortgage licensee. Equal housing lender.
You want to punch me right now, but you won't. You want to punch me too? You guys both look like you might want to hit me in the face. You do. I can tell. Well, why don't you do it? Why don't you punch me in the face? Punch me in the face.
92.7 Nuga Radio.
And this one. This is my son's favorite. Do you know this one?
Oh, I do indeed. It's a lovely thing.
They told me, ba-rum-ba-bum-bum, a newborn king to see, ba-rum-ba-bum-bum. Our finest gifts we bring, ba-rum-ba-bum-bum, rum-ba-bum-bum, rum-ba-bum-bum. Peace on earth, can it be? Years from now,
could be back in the day when there was that strange, uneasy time between the passing of the real baby boomer generation, the greatest generation, the Rat Pack type folks, the Tony Bennett's, the Bing Crosby's, and the coming in of the heavy metal, drug, sex, and rock and roll 60s, early 70s, and TV didn't know what to do with it. The Sonny and Cher show was kind of a bridge. The Smothers Brothers show, which got canceled, by the way, for being so anti-government. You go back and look at it now, you think, oh my gosh. And one of the strangest examples was this beautiful piece of music. This was fairly late in the 70s, too, mid-70s. It was the Bing Crosby Christmas special, and it was almost like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Suddenly there's a knock at the door, and it's David Bowie. One of the freakiest, most androgynous, strangest, Ziggy Stardust, rock and roll heroes of all time. Only two different colored eyes, and he's wearing a cardigan sweater just like Bing. And they do this song live on the TV show. And it still lives on as one of the great duets as far as I'm concerned when it comes to Christmas music. You are listening to Fred the Show, free radio every day. Freedom of thought, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Nobody hit him, Fred, just the name of the show. My name is Jeff Stiles. I am here Monday through Friday as a general rule at NugaRadio.com. Go to NugaRadio.com, the website. We're at 92.7 on the FM dial. We also do streaming audio. We got apps. We do Facebook Live. And if you're listening on the Facebook, you're listening to radio. All right, just keep that in mind, just because you have something to watch. I want to say thanks again to People's Home Equity. People's Home Equity, your local mortgage professionals. If you wanted to really punish me, sit me down and make me have to figure out a mortgage, but they do it all day, and they'll do it all day for you. And they will be straightforward with you as to whether or not you're getting into the right house. If you've got enough to get this house, maybe you can afford more house. I don't know. But chatmortgage2ts.com, chatmortgage2ts.com, and they are the sponsors of this hour and Fred the Show, and we're glad to have them. Also did go by and see I tried to see my friends at RC2 Realty Solutions yesterday, and I did talk to some of the folks there. And as I said yesterday, there was a little health issue that popped up that took Robin kind of out of the picture for a couple of days. So I'm sending her speedy wishes for a speedy recovery and prayers and all the stuff that I can do, and also paid my rent. So Robin, there you go. I finally paid my rent for December. I hadn't had a paycheck in a while. You know, I mean, it's taken some catching up here. But the info at RC2RealtySolutions.com right now, specializing in distressed properties. Now we're going to go to the phone lines, and if I'm not mistaken, if I look at today's paper, and I'm going to right now, I believe there's a picture of this caller on the front page. If it's not, it's one of the folks that he was working with, and he called in the other day when I asked for people to call in on this sewer issue. And let me look and see if I've got this right. Yes, as a matter of fact, North Heron Bay resident Brent Smith, and I think that's who we have on the line right now. And Brent, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jeff. How you doing today?
Man, that's a real good picture of you. You look sharp.
I didn't see it, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's on the front page. I mean, right under the fold. Sewer rejection leaves Hamilton County in quandary. We did discuss it a little bit. Of course, it's been on the news all day. And you guys, I guess the County United for Responsible Growth, whoever, but all the folks who said this was a foolish plan and it was going to bring down your property rates, and that maybe this was not a place where they needed to have uncontrolled expansion, y'all won, and you won at a very unlikely place, the Hamilton County Commission.
It was a great day. It was an early Christmas present for everybody in North Hamilton County. Especially, kudos to my neighborhood, North Heron Bay, for all the people that contributed to the process. But Jeff, it's a messy process. It was emotional, roller coaster. But you know what? The process, in the end, it worked. And, our gratitude goes to the County Commission for, their concern, their time, their thoughtful considerations. There was a lot of important statements made by the County Commission yesterday.
I'm looking at some of them. I said earlier I had several things underlined that I wanted to come back and talk about in this hour. But you go ahead with your statement.
Well, I just want to say that people should look back on the comments of Chip Baker and the comments of Chairwoman Smedley. There's some very wise things said by them. And, some issues that were raised is that, perhaps other options have to be looked at. Perhaps we need to take control of our infrastructure through other ways and means. I mean, it should take some serious consideration. The other thing I want to give kudos to is David Toulis. He's exactly right. The issue we had with trying to explain the financial point of view that David was coming across is sometimes you only give him 5 minutes to explain.
You're lucky if you get 5 minutes in front of a body like that. For those who do not know, David Toulis is on the air from 1 to 3 every day, and he describes himself as an investigative journalist, even though the mayor of Chattanooga stripped him of his journalistic credentials and told him he wasn't allowed to come to meetings anymore, which is something very Trumpian, in my opinion, and nobody should be kidding unless they're disturbing the peace, unless they're disrupting, the meetings. I don't think that anybody should be kept out just because they disagree with somebody.
Yeah, and David raised some great points. There's one thing that David argues, of course, is in the name of future growth, of raising bonds and raising debt to pay for that growth, and who's going to pay for the maintenance. And that was really part of our argument when you say 20 years down the road, this plant that's supposed to be placed in our backyard, that latest technology is tomorrow's worst nightmare. And who's going to pay to keep that plant up? Do we have another Moccasin Bend in our backyard?
Well, that's exactly what your biggest fear is, and the fear that the folks on the other side tried to plant the seeds of fear is that we're going to stop development. And if we stop development, then we're going to lose a tax base. We're going to lose affordable housing, which we did discuss earlier this morning. What the heck is that anymore? I have no idea.
Well, I'll tell you what, and this is what's going to be said over and over again. And it was said by the mayor, and it was said by Mr. Boyd, that, we're going to stunt the growth in North Hamilton County. Even if the plant was approved yesterday, it would take 7 years for it to be built. Only 10%, if that, of the volume was taken out of Moccasin Bend to put in this plant. Chairwoman Smedley said it best. There's other options out there, other people that say they can build the plant faster in a more friendly environment, and perhaps even connect the entire county. And so, those options need to be seriously looked at.
But I know that there was a deal made.
You could have growth here faster.
There was a deal already made with a certain group of developers that probably was the brother-in-law or a friend or a college roommate of somebody. There's always a connection. There's always a connection when it gets down to these things. And if you look, you don't have to look very hard. You can kind of draw the lines as to why it had to be this group. It had to be this group. And how many, deals do we see go down in local governance? Where it's not even put out for bid, or if it is, it's put out for bid with 1 day's notice, and it's an egregious, bidding process, and the winning team happens to have theirs already in.
Jeff, I agree with you fully. The argument was, we've got to save the ratepayers' money. No one ever questioned the amount of money they wanted to spend here. If you look at the WWTA's financial statements, they have plants in service valued at $130 million. And they have two very small facilities. How in the world are you going to build a plant for $45 million when on your books you say your two tiny little facilities cost you $131 million? And that's with the depreciation taken out. Explain that to the community if you could. It's going to cost more than $45 to build that. They wanted to double the ratepayers' monthly fees to be able to pay for the consent decree and pay for this new plant. But at the same time, they said, but moving it's out of the question because that's going to increase our ratepayers by $3 a month after they're going to double it $50 in a period of 7-10 years. There's got to be better alternatives out there than let an organization. Doesn't have to answer to anybody. Doesn't have to answer to any.
You're talking about the WWTA, yeah.
To maintain our sewer system. So all we're saying is look at the options.
And I did put a text into Chip to see if he might want to join us. I don't know that he'd want to do that, and that was with no notice whatsoever. It was a 6-3 vote. I was going to ask you, and we've got almost right at 4 minutes. Did the three who voted to continue the plan, were they adamant? Were they vocal? Since I was not there.
Well, actually, the most adamant person proposing this plant is Commissioner Tim Boyd. And Commissioner Tim Boyd actually voted with us on this as a parliamentary issue, so he has the opportunity to bring this issue up again. And I guess there's a parliamentary procedure where if you're on the positive side of the vote, you can retable this. You can bring this back to the table.
Yeah, you see that happen in D.C. all the time.
Yeah, he wants to have that fight again. I understand. I guess we can ask ourselves, why is he so adamant about this? Why is he really, really so adamant that he's not willing to look at other options? I don't know. I know his district gets the majority of the consent decree, $66 million. Most of it goes to his district. The total number is 210. He gets $66 million of it. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. You know what? All I can say is that as a community, we want to help solve this issue. We just don't think their site proposal was the best. We want to help.
We'll go to a break in a second, and I just wanted to say this one thing. You don't see Jim Coppinger, the current county mayor, get all excited very often. He's not a person that gets real. He's not very excitable. He doesn't get fired up. He clearly was disappointed, and he basically floated out there. Taxes are probably going to have to go up. We're going to have to increase the debt service, and this thing has got to go somewhere. And I understand that. And I have nothing against the Bells. I worked with Jay Bell and others in that family and the Home Builders Association. But every once in a while, you just got to keep a place the way it is. That's one of the things that gives a lot of the folks out there quality of life, is having that unbroken, a forest line at the lake. And you can't put a price on that.
Well, I'll let the market dictate whether, they want more homes built in North Hamilton County. I'll let the demand for housing dictate that. I'm a firm believer, after this roller coaster that we've gone through, Jeff, that I think there's better options out there. And again, our group is still willing to work with all parties interested to come up with a better solution. At some point in time, you need to take into account how the people that are actually going to help lay the foundation of this growth, how they feel about the topic. And thank goodness that 5 of the county commissioners understood that.
Well, I appreciate you calling in last week and today. And, I will congratulate you, even though the other folks on the other side, the honorable opposition, can come in and give their side of the story at any given point. But thank you very much for calling, Brent. And
well, Jeff, thank you. And just, please make sure that everybody knows it was a community effort. The community deserves the credit. And again, the community will come up with a solution for this infrastructure.
Thank you very much.
Good luck on your show.
I appreciate it.
We're very happy to be able to have one.
I'm very happy to have one. I can tell you that for sure. And I'll tell you a story about a visitor to our little community here, our God's Pocket, as I have referred to it many times. And his first observation and how interesting it is, depending on where he comes from, and we found out and what he had to say when he saw all this undeveloped land, is pretty interesting. Read the show.
I'm the dude, that or his dudeness, duder, or El Duderino, if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Luca Radio 92.7.
For you and your family to create special Christmas memories aboard the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum's iconic North Pole Limited. These magical train rides have been festive family traditions since 1999. During this holiday season, why not bring your family to Grand Junction and enjoy the lights and sparkle aboard the North Pole Limited on an imaginary journey to the North Pole. Along the way, you'll be treated to refreshments, storytelling, Christmas carols, unique gifts, and lighted Christmas displays. And once the train pulls into the North Pole, a special visit from Santa. The 2018 season kicks off on November 17th with both day and nighttime rides through December 29th. To reserve your seats today or for more information, go online to tvrail.com or call 423-894-8028. The Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum would like to wish you and your family a very happy holiday season.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nuga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. This is your sandwich speaking. Yeah, your sandwich. And you can't find me any place but the Mad Philly Sandwich Shop. Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, just off 153 on Shaliford Road. It's in the little plaza. Hey, check out these buns. Yeah, they're Amorosa, all the way from Philly. So bite me. You want a real Philly cheesesteak? Check out my meat. Throw some cheese on it and grilled onions. Oh, yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about. Only at the Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, where you'll always get the real taste of a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Plus hoagies, burgers, sandwiches, salads, fresh cut fries, tater tots, and other stuff. Mad Philly Sandwich Shop, just off 153 on Shaliford Road, right across from Mountain View Service Center. It's in the little plaza. Hey, come on, we're waiting for you here. So just shut up and eat it.
I went whitewater rafting a few years back, and man, it was fun. This is Bruce Dodd with People's Home Equity, a mortgage company right here in Chattanooga. The water was up that day, and the rapids were pretty challenging. Our guide had traveled the river hundreds of times before and knew exactly where to go and how to approach each rapid. I learned that it's important to know when to paddle, when to coast, and that communication is vital. The mortgage world has become a lot like a whitewater trip. We do mortgages all day, every day. Your mortgage is our priority. If you're looking to move this year, then get the pre-qualification process started with professionals who can help you navigate the mortgage industry. We know when to paddle and when to coast. If you're ready to move, call us at People's Home Equity, 423-591-9801.
People's Home Equity is still closing loans in less than 30 days. Call them now to get pre-qualified. 423-591-9801. 423-591-9801. Call for more details. Terms and conditions may apply. This is not a commitment to lend. NMLS number 66247. Tennessee number 117278136. Georgia number 16020. Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee. Equal housing lender.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun. Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic. Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans. Nooga Radio.
A majestic song.
Said my nephew Tim to his Aunt Louise.
Didn't I get this last year?
Didn't I get this last year? Same thing every year, Aunt Louise.
Didn't I get this last year?
Didn't I get this last year?
Some socks, and some tiny BVDs, but I can't get them up past my knees. Could you return them, please, Aunt Louise?
Every time. Every time. I think it's one of the most. I remember singing that in church when Sunday school would get out and we'd go up, during the Christmas concert, the concerto that we would have, the cantata. And this was one, the men would go low, the women would go high. And it was just moving. Some people are good gift givers. Some people not so much. I hate the concept of giving somebody something that they asked for. I hate the idea of getting, here's who you're supposed to buy for, and because we do that, and here's what they want.
What about Dirty Santa?
I like Dirty Santa too. I mean, it's fun. I mean, but I hate giving somebody something that they have specifically asked for. I mean, down to the size and where I'm supposed to shop. And I like to throw them a curveball. I like to go to some little knick-knack shop, one of these, resale places, and get them some sort of a piece of art made out of old baseballs or something like that. Just something that is, I think something that has no utility whatsoever, but is just interesting is better than something that somebody said they want. Well, everybody needs underwear. I'll buy my own underwear. Thank you very much.
Well, for those who are shopping for us, those one or two people.
Yeah.
I wear size $100 bills.
Yeah, I do too. They always fit. That's
right.
And I've said try to keep any gift under $20. Just so I don't want to have to do a whole lot of thank you cards. But you do what you want to do.
For a $100 bill, I'll be glad to send something.
Cash is good. By the way, People's Home Equity, I have failed you. I have somehow scribbled out the NMLS number that I should repeat at the end of every People's Home Equity spot, and I will find it here shortly. I know it's just a legal thing, but it's really important to folks when they buy advertising that's done so they don't go to jail. So I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna say thanks again to Warren Griffin also for joining us. They have the hands-free challenge thing going on, where basically they're asking you to put down your phone, go to the Warren Griffin website, and sign the petition that will help save lives and make roads safer. And it's really pretty easy stuff to do. Now, you don't want to hire some Alabama billboard attorney for anything you have going on in this area, because you know what they do?
they end up basically just taking a piece of money and they hire a local attorney firm to do it anyway. So just go straight to Warren and Griffin. Thank you very much. And that's what you ought to do. And of course, that is warrenandgriffin.com. And I think it's hashtag hands-free Tennessee. And everybody should know that by now. All right, it's NMLS 66247. Thank you very much. NMLS 66247. That is the correct number to put at the end of the People's Home Equity Spot. And I very much appreciate the call that we just got from Brent Smith, North Heron Bay resident. And I know that people are listening all over the country. They really are. I've heard from folks who like what they hear from David Tullis. They like what they hear from Marie Mott. They used to listen to me when I was on the air on a daily basis at another station, and they would go to the website and they do streaming audio. And when you have low wattage like we did there, like we do here, the streaming audio makes sense. And we do the Facebook Live thing here too, which is, by the way, you're listening to radio, even if you're looking at it visually. So, but I mean, these are the kind of things, I mean, when we talk about this stuff, this is not just about Chattanooga or Red Bank or East Ridge or one of our local communities. These are the kind of issues that every community faces. And when I look at Judy Walton's front page article, and it talks about a jubilant crowd after the county commission voted against allowing the sewage treatment plant on Mahan Gap Road, I guarantee you that every one of y'all's communities have probably been through something like this before. Now, personally, I lived in the county for a long time, and I had to pay a sewer fee because there was supposedly a sewer line that ran down my street, and I had access to it, even though nobody that lived there actually had a line running from their home to the alleged sewer treatment or sewer line that was there somewhere under the street. Nobody could prove to us that it really existed. And that fee would go up from time to time. And finally, the Tennessee American Water Company said, we're not collecting that fee anymore. We're getting out from under that because we get more complaints about that than anything. And so you got folks out there who've been used to living on septic tanks. It's not a perfect system. There's no doubt about it. But sewers aren't going to be perfect anywhere you go. The Romans had real problems with them. We've had real problems with them. When we have floods, every single sewer line and every water, drainage line, and it's just, it all goes in the same place. And you can see the floaters and you can see the sinkers and you can smell the mess. And it's going to be that way. And if you have one that's coming downhill through a fairly pristine area into a place where people have socked a lot of money into a quality of life that it includes, some pristine water line and forest line along the lake, you're screwing them up. And then your affordable housing, whatever that is. So there's all these trigger words in here.
On a side note,
yeah,
a friend of mine actually works for a public utility in Winchester and learned all about sewer operations on the way down to New Orleans. Got nothing else to talk about 2:00 in the morning.
Well, so there you go. He was informing
I was
you.
Enlightened.
So you now know more about floaters and sinkers than almost anybody I know.
That's right.
And the fact is, when you get a lot of rain, it's all going in the same place. And you do want definitely, and I will give Tennessee American and all the rest of the water utility places around here. You know what? You hear about the water contamination in other towns. We have not dealt with that since I have lived here. I think there's been a couple of times when some of the higher mountains, elevations where I live at like now, we have had no trouble. But I mean, the water level will get low and they'll start giving you boil alerts or they'll start having to bring tankers up. But that's a mountainous area. I mean, if you're out in the Rockies, sometimes they have to get tanks lifted by helicopter there once a month for people to live where they want to live. And I don't know. It just, for Mayor Coppinger saying, well, now you're going to be careful what you wish for. Taxes are going to go up and we were going to make some affordable housing. Well, what is affordable housing? Give us a number. Let's do this. We'll be gone. We, as in me and Jason, We'll be gone Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day. And we are pre-recording some shows for this hour for Fred this show. We did the one for Christmas Eve yesterday. We'll do Christmas today. And I don't know what we're going to do for Boxing Day, but I will do something. And so the number is not going to really help you a lot then because we won't be here. Now, the news team will be 800-8949 if you want to call in. But I said that last couple of days we would do this. And I think we should do it right now before we run out of time. Times Free Press, every Sunday, they put in the perspective section something called the rant. And it's 25 words or less, so it's kind of like a tweet. So it'll take me probably the remaining time in this break to read the ones that I have in this one. But then he's going to come back, and he's going to read some comments that we've gotten from people on social media and other various ways that have to do with the station and my rejoining the station or whatever. So just, fair. Fair is fair. Rather than putting Christ back in Christmas, I'd settle for putting Christ back in some of the so-called Christians. Trump was right again. A vote for the Democrats stopped prosperity. Okay. Republicans advanced sentencing reform bill in U.S. Senate. Watch what 2020 Democrat presidential aspirants take credit for it. We can build a wall around the White House for cheaper than $5 billion. Let's put that in the budget. America, take note. France enacts carbon tax. Riots ensue. More than 1,500 injured. Lessons? Senator Chuck Schumer recently told President Trump, elections have consequences. Schumer's party lost 2 seats. We hope the consequences aren't too hard on him. Avondale residents get new $6 million rec center, but don't like the bleachers. Apparently, they lost out on shower heads and an attached Starbucks, too. I don't know about that.
The yes is going off.
What does that mean?
We're off.
Really?
No, it's just test.
I get those things all the time. Are there that many kids being kidnapped?
No.
Trickle-down economics has never worked. Excessive tax cuts for the rich serve only as an upward redistribution of income. Dear UPS and FedEx, please take an extra second or two and stop flying down our little neighborhood street. You're going to hurt somebody. Government-elect Lee has tapped numerous Williamson County officials for his cabinet. Sir, please remember the rest of the state. To the victor belong the spoils. How is Rex Tillerson a successful CEO at ExxonMobil, then as Trump's Secretary of State? He's dumb as a rock and lazy as hell. LOL. Those are the president's words. Obama inherited a nightmare economy, turned it into the world's strongest. Trump takes all the credit. Now Trump's blundering threatens our economy again. Oh, Trump's bone spurs didn't hurt too bad when he attended the Army-Navy game. George Mason said it was imperative for Congress to remove a president who has gained his office by undermining democracy and the rule of law. And you know who George Mason was? He was the guy who invented mason jars. He was very smart. Who are you to judge which young people coming across the border will meet future needs of the U.S.? Every child deserves an even chance. Pro-abortion groups fretting because only remaining Nashville abortion clinic is closed. They're concerned, they say, ironically, about women's health. Jesus was born a poor migrant, lest we forget. How would he want you to treat people fleeing poverty and violence who only want a job? Oh, you better not cheat. You better not steal. You better not lie. I'm telling you why. Mueller Claus is coming to town. I could end on that one. But Trump got the blame when gasoline prices rose over the summer. Where's the credit for their recent sharp decline? And they have declined. They're still not as low as they have been in past years. A lot of people are going to be on the road next few days. People who think Obama falsely took credit for economic recovery have not looked at charts on Treasury Department's website unless you think that's fake news too. Well, fake news is whatever I say it is, right? I mean, that's that easy. Stormy Daniels has to pay Trump nearly $294,000 in legal fees. When you file suit, be careful what you wish for. I'm going to say Stormy doesn't have that tucked away. And she may have to work really hard to get that much. I mean, there's only so much that a garter belt will hold. Double, toil and trouble, fire burning cauldron bubble, just another day at the Trump White House. I can legally carry a gun here, so I should be able to carry anywhere. I can legally buy pot in Colorado, so why not in Tennessee? Well, you're wrong about you can't carry it anywhere. There has to be some sort of cooperation between the states. Let's see. I wish to put my name in the hat for the White House Chief of Staff position. I've always aspired to be a mob family capo, but I don't have the requisite family heritage. And that's good enough for the rant. 25 words or less. When we come back, we'll get some comments on Nooga Radio from the social media outlets that people use.
I'm the dude, you know, that or his dudeness, duder, or El Duderino, if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Nooga Radio 92.7. 3, 2, 1.
Chatter, Nooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4, 92.7 FM's news now.
The Chattanooga Police Department confirmed a person was stabbed on Broad Street Wednesday afternoon. Officers were seen roping off a section of Lookout Mountain Suites parking lot. The cops have confirmed the victim was stabbed, but their injuries were not life-threatening. Erlanger Hospital putting out a warning about phony phone calls. They say somebody's calling with a number that appears to be from Erlanger, seeking out personal identifying information. The FCC warns you shouldn't respond to any questions from a suspicious number, especially if it's a yes or no question. Renovations to start next year for Camp Jordan Park in East Ridge. The City Council approved a $2.3 million enhancement and renovation plan with new buildings expected. Chattanooga Police Department Sergeant Peter Turk resigned from his post. He was accused of soliciting prostitution after a sting operation conducted by the TBI and the police department. Mr. Turk, the subject of both an internal affairs investigation and a criminal investigation. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 Action News now.
92.7 Nooga Radio.
The rumors are true. We've opened a Starbucks at 10 North, 20 Cherokee Boulevard on the North Shore, and we're more than just what we brew. We're your new North Shore neighborhood living room, a gathering place, a part of your daily routine, with a warm atmosphere, a spacious patio, convenient complimentary parking, and a full Starbucks food and beverage menu, including the new Nitro Cold Brew. We're a coffee experience, and we make sure everything we do is through the lens of community and contributing value to our vibrant neighborhood. Open daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. We look forward to serving you. Starbucks North Shore, inspiring and nurturing the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. Locally owned and operated by Vision Hospitality Group.
Oh, can happen to anyone. Flat tire, overheated engine, or just a clackety-clack, and now you're on the side of the road. No worries, because Doug Yates Towing and Recovery is there 24 hours a day for you. That's right, 24-hour-a-day emergency roadside assistance. And you don't have to accept who your insurance company or your road assistance provider sends you. At Doug Yates Towing and Recovery, we want you off the road as safely and soon as possible. So they'll be there in a jiffy. Doug Yates Towing and Recovery with 24-hour emergency roadside service. Call 800-407-2371. That's 800-407-2371. Online, yateswrecker.com. That's yateswrecker.com. On Facebook at Doug Yates Towing and Recovery, LLC. Doug Yates Towing and Recovery. We don't want your arms and legs, just your toes. Doug Yates Towing and Recovery is a Nooga Radio 92.7 First Responder Friday sponsor. To our first responders, Doug Yates Towing and Recovery says thank you.
Hail to the chief engineer. We are sorry, so sorry, sorry, sorry. We'll never do it again.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
It's coming on Christmas. They're cutting down trees. They're putting up reindeer and singing songs of joy and peace. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. But it don't snow here. It stays pretty green.
One of those
I'm gonna
songs
make a lot
that
of money.
people don't
Then I'm
really
gonna
think
put
of as a
this
Christmas song.
crazy
I'm going to play another one for you at the very tail end of this break.
good skate
The Argonaut doesn't know which one
away
that is yet. I'll clue him in here in a second. All right. That's Joni Mitchell, by the way, River. Some great remakes of it. Joni Mitchell having some serious health problems. She was on my short list along with Van Morrison, but I don't think she'll be performing again. Doggone it. Sarah McLachlan does a great song. cover that song too. All right, it's your turn. I got my bearings right here. I know. We've been tossed into the blender once again. Since I got here last Monday, they have reinvented this entire station every day, and then again during the evening hours that night, and then they did it again the next day, and then the next night. So it's been reinvented now at least 8 times.
Something like that.
For the 9th or 10th time, they'll do it again tonight. Which is why they were throwing the real curve by not being here next week, So that's just I'm sure this is just beautiful for everybody here.
Which is why I've been playing that connector, Hail to the Chief Engineer. He's done great.
Poor thing. And you know what? And the longer you work with me, the more angry you're going to get because of things like this. I'm telling you, it's not just me taking off time or somehow just something not working. And my polite suggestion, it could be better if we did it a different way, was also, it is my personal EMP, my electromagnetic pulse that I have. And I think that people here are really beginning to finally believe me that I really do have it, because all I got to do is walk next to a monitor and it flickers out.
And then we've got, Hellbot here, Demon 3000.
we got the HAL 9002 Antichrist supercomputer, who recognized me when I entered. Hello, Jeff. What are you doing, Jeff? Don't do that, Jeff. And starts singing nursery rhymes as it goes down. So I know we just your comments about this, what we're doing, that have come in from various social media things.
Well,
I don't pay attention to.
Russell inputted this morning that no one says anything about him.
Immediately, somebody said Russell sucks.
Russell sucks is the first thing.
There you go. So I think that's fantastic. I mean, it's fantastic that people are responding that way. I love to see immediate response.
Yep. And then here's one. I'm embarrassed for the city right now. We need to stand together and fire this officer. So that's nothing to do with the show.
We're talking about it.
That's something we talked about too. A lot of good mornings. There's been a lot of people talking about the other place across town.
Yeah, we don't want to go there.
No. And then I saw a good one here just a second ago. I have to scroll.
Well, there's tons of them. I mean, there's tons of them. Let's see.
Work my schedule. It's around Jeff's 2-hour show. Even these busy holiday times, somebody's addicted.
Yeah, this guy says, I can't get a damn thing done at work for watching this. Jeez. I like that. That's a good one.
Love the Metallica. So someone enjoyed the Metallica we opened up with yesterday morning. I got to keep scrolling and scrolling. I mean,
well, we're going to, on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and again, these breaks that we're doing right now in Fred the Show, brought to you by Warren and Griffin, and all the good things that Warren and Griffin do, and sponsoring the show right now is definitely one of them. And office hours, pretty much what you think they would be, Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 5, Friday, 8:30 to 4. We try to get out just a little bit early, like everybody else. And Saturdays by appointment. Email them at info@warrengriffin.com. We got the petition going for Hands-Free Tennessee. And, of course, when you work with Warren and Griffin, when you've been injured in a car accident or a slip or fall, if you're dealing with Social Security or wage and hour problems at your workplace, no attorney fees paid until they win your case. Thank you very much. Number's 265-HURT, and Chattanooga 706-529-HURT in Dalton.
This one guy here said it looks like you didn't miss any meals while you were out of work.
No, that is true. That is true. I packed on a few pounds. Think about that. That's 2 summers in a row. And I don't work out. I don't go to the gym. And I usually maintain about a 205 weight level. I'm 6'3". I carry 205 pretty well, but I'm about 245 right now. And that's 2 summers in a row where I couldn't do a damn thing. All I could do was lay on my butt. I mean, one, I literally could not get up and move at all. And then this one, I mean, I was stricken for a while, and I was just downright depressed for a while. So, yeah, I've definitely put on some weight, and I'm dropping it off slowly, but I had to wait for the heat of the summer to go away and get back into some cool fall and even winter temperatures. That's my time.
I saw a meme of a dumpster fire that said, meanwhile on 92.7.
That's good.
That was a good one.
That's good.
That was a good one. And then there was a young lady who was mentioned that she was glad that you were back on the airwaves. They reminded her now that she's got her child. Her father used to listen to you back in the day.
Yay.
And now she's being able to do the same with her child here.
I can indoctrinate another whole generation.
So there's been a lot of great comments. And as you said, you know, not many negative, crappy.
Well, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. I guarantee you. There will be much more negative stuff in the very near future. I can guarantee that we will have more negative comments coming in. I will make that my own personal, you know, mission in life. I will become Don Quixote, tilting at whatever windmill I need to get more negativity going.
A lot of T-shirt comments about you and myself both.
Yeah.
So
I've seen this. So I think the sponsored T-shirt makes perfect sense.
Well, I'm going to get us a couple that we can wear temporarily that says "This space for rent."
I'm all over it.
So
now, all right, just jumping back into I guess the news of the day. You may have heard, and they beat me to it. Dagnabbit. You know, this tiny house thing. Since I put on this 40 pounds, I was going to do a tiny house. We actually live in a pretty tiny house. I mean, the house we live in is not very big at all. It's a great house, and it's in a beautiful, beautiful area. I couldn't ask to be in a more beautiful area. That's why I'm there. I live in paradise as far as I'm concerned. And that's the name of our swimming hole, our favorite swimming hole, which is just very nearby. It's paradise. And, but it's a tiny house, and we have 4 grown adults living in it right now. Our senior in high school at Sequatchie is 19, and we have his older brother who moved back in. Chick he was shacking up with, and him, you know, had a falling out. So we've got, you know, 3 grown men living in there. That takes us back to the whole underwear issue we were talking about earlier. I'll buy my own underwear.
Yes.
You don't give me underwear for Christmas, because all that's going to happen is they're going to steal my underwear, because you're going to get me some sort of tidy whities or something that's going to just look standard. That's when I just went to the restroom a second ago, just out of necessity. I realized I was wearing my wolf underwear. I was at Walmart. I was down there buying something. I realized, and they had underwear that was kind of silken material, and it had these color graphics on them. And there was one with a snarling wolf. And I'm thinking, that's my underwear. They'll never wear that underwear. They'd be so embarrassed if anybody saw it. And the chances of somebody seeing their underwear is much higher than somebody seeing mine. So now I have underwear that they will not touch. And if I see one with, you know, unicorns sneezing rainbows, I'll buy those by the dozen, you know. So it just gets into the whole, again, you know, gift giving thing.
Yeah, you better watch out. People will start sponsoring your underwear before.
Don't look at it in the eyes now. Don't look at it in the eyes. That's a direct challenge. You won't like what happens after that. I promise you. I'll get into some news here. Also, I did mention that FredPodcast.com, the new podcast about Christmas magic, did go up yesterday, and I've had a bunch of comments on that. I had one little error and some music that I inserted. I can live with that. Christmas magic, I told some really good stories about my kids and younger people in my life, and I finally got to one that had to do with my friends and adult magic and Christmas magic. And it has to do with this thing that I'll talk more about probably tomorrow. And it's Christmas Adam. As 2 of my friends invented this thing, Adam came before Eve. So the day before Christmas Eve is Christmas Adam. And we always have a get together out in the woods. And it's a big deal. You need to go to FredPodcast.com and listen. And thanks to all the people who support that as well, including Kelly Subaru, Tim Kelly and his gang at Kelly Subaru, KellySubaru.com. It's at Riverfront and Parkway. They've been down there for years and years and years, and we're very glad to have them on as supporters and advertisers, and just think the world of Tim. They have, of course, all the used Subarus. They have, you know, if you can get a used Subaru, all the new Subarus, everything that comes out online, and just an incredible service department, sales department. They're just a wonderful place. And good morning to you, caller.
Is that me?
I believe it is.
All right. Well, see, there's not the telltale beep or blurb or anything like that says, "Hey, you're on the air."
I can do that.
Hey, you got a cooler?
Not with me.
Well,
but
I got a coat.
Oh, I mean, I have a refrigerator here at the station that I can use for the time being.
Don't share. You ain't gonna share this stuff with a bunch of other gators.
Oh no! You're talking about my venison?
Yeah.
Well, heck yeah! Bring it on by.
I'm heading your way, and
it's not
due to the inclement weather, I'm running a bit behind. But
Are we supposed to get snow?
Run down here in a few.
Are we supposed to get snow this weekend?
They're saying no, so we'll probably get a blizzard.
That would be a bummer if I have to travel 4 hours south into the boondocks and it's snowing. But yeah, get on by, and it's not so.
Hey,
it's not so.
You still doing interviews? You're the master of the the interview of folks.
Yes.
That lady Erin Thomas, who's the new super hot weather chick at Channel 9.
Yes.
Yeah, she not just a talking hairdo, as our former friend or our friend who has passed would call.
Now I saw her this morning. As a matter of fact, it's always a coin toss for me when I get up in the morning. I'm the first one to get up as to which morning show I go to, and it's if it's already on one, it generally stays there. But I did see her, and there's the one that was very pregnant. And I admired her very much for being very pregnant and for wearing things that did not try to conceal that. I thought she was good. And we've had some bad weathermen in this area.
Yeah, well, it's the Erin, she certainly, if it's a swap between 12 and 9, she's certainly much prettier to look at than Chip Chapman.
Well, I'll be happy to have her in. Tomorrow it's going to be Magic. The Magic Christmas, we're going to have a magician in here from Chattanooga who's been on America's Got Talent, and you're going to enjoy it. Watch it on Facebook Live, seriously.
When are you playing Cheech and Chong?
Tomorrow.
Santa and his old lady.
Oh no, actually that'll be on that'll be on Christmas Day. That being, of course, one of the most sacred of all Christmas anthems, possibly the most admired.
It just wasn't Thanksgiving without Alice's Restaurant.
I know. I know.
Just wasn't the same.
I heard that from several people.
Heartbroken and downtrodden.
Well, I own the intellectual property.
Look it up on the YouTube.
Property rights to playing that on Thanksgiving. Man, thank you so much. Swing on by. I'll be here for just a little bit. Right. And I appreciate you. And we are going to head to our final commercial break and kind of wrap things up today. Yeah, on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and on the Wednesday after, we'll be playing songs in their entirety. And we will be reading certain items that we have found that we believe. It's from Harry Nielsen. I sent it to you this morning. There's a song that I wanted to play going out, but I don't know how much time we've got left. It's another one that people don't realize is an actual Christmas song, but it is subtitled Christmas 1954. And you'll hear it in its entirety, I promise you, on Christmas Day. And Cheech and Chong sent in his old lady, because those two things kind of go together.
Long
whatever your favorite Christmas song
is. Far away.
When you hear this in its entirety, it's a beautiful song. Huge Harry Nilsson fan. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.
I'm the dude. That or his dudeness, Duder, or El Duderino, if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Cougar Radio 92.7.
Are you looking to buy a home? You go online and search, or you ride through the areas you want to move to, looking for time stands still when you see it. You know, that home. But you spend all that time. You build up all that excitement to find out that you only qualify for... Maybe you have a few things on your credit that keeps you from things that you could take care of. You know what you should do? Call the mortgage professionals at People's Home Equity. They specialize in... They help home buyers go from... to... People's Home Equity is a great place to start the home buying process. 591-9801. You need more than less? People's Home Equity, 591-9801.
Call for more details. Terms and conditions may apply. This is not a commitment to lend. NMLS number 66247. Tennessee number 117278136. Georgia number 16020. Georgia residential mortgage licensee. Equal housing.
Merry Christmas. Well, let's take a look at the naughty and nice list. Well, let's see here. There's Sonny, and there's Deb, and even Annie made the list too.